3,000 men, burned to ashes in minutes.
I remember the stillness when the news reached Vengerberg, the palace, the streets, the houses, the entire capital cloaked in silence.
The cries were here, every last man. I was somewhere beyond that hill, in the middle of the massacre.
What is your intention, Saskia?
I intend to stop Eden from being sold.
Don't look like no virgin.
We must parley.
She invited.
Leave issues of war to me, Prince.
This'll be interesting.
Concentrate on King Henselt. Yarpen Zigrin claims he's short-tempered. Provoke him to strike, and we'll negotiate once the battle's won.
I still cannot fathom why the nobles betrayed us.
Spit on the nobles, Prince. They've meant nothing since the day my peasant force scattered them on the Diffley.
I'd a good day to Creve, my lord. The girl is a demon incarnate.
Firstly, the girl has a name. Secondly, she's the best commander I have. All others have betrayed me.
She's a monster. Creve spoke to me in a dream. I saw a snake-like she-demon devour your heritage.
Silence, Olcan. We near the meeting place.
We shall sign everything, Your Majesty. As you.
We have guests. Welcome, Stennis, son of Demavend. I invite you to join us.
Greetings, Henselt. You seem at home in Edern. You are here, yet I do not recall inviting you.
Felot did so in your stead. I'm here at his behest. I've broken no truces or treaties, yet.
Oh, is that so? Mr. Brogan, please escort Count Felot to a secluded spot and remove his troublesome head.
Don't you dare, boy. You're no king. Your father.
My father is dead. The folk still mourn him while you betray his good name and his country.
Your Majesty, I must request your protection. This young man has lost his mind.
Take him away.
Your Majesty, what of our agreement?
I need you no longer, Felot, now Stennis is here.
Anyone else wish to object? Wonderful. To the matter at hand, then.
Well said. I will show you my hand. I've over 200 armed men encamped nearby, enough to hold the fort for several hours. Another 5,000 battle-hungry lads await on the other bank. What say you to that?
In attacking Edern, you would break the provisions of the Peace of Sintra. All the northern kingdoms will be obliged to support me.
None will stand with you.
Radovid of Redania, the dukes of the south.
You dream, boy. They're not to be counted on. And the treaty, I piss on it as do they. You are alone.
Not entirely.
I'll stay out of this, Saskia.
Well, well, she has a voice. Saskia the Dragon Slayer. You're much prettier than they claim. You'll need to throw in the last two. Peasants should work the fields, not rebel and burn down the estates of their masters. It's to your advantage to give her up.
I'll not allow it. This land is under my protection. If no one else has the courage to stand up to you, I will. Listen well, King. You have 1 hour to quit Upper Eden with your forces. If you fail to do so, it's war. If but one Cadweni soldier remains on this land 1 minute past the deadline, it's war. You will instruct your heralds to proclaim around and about that you apologize to the people of Eden for this shameful incursion. Otherwise, it's war.
You've got balls, woman. My soldiers would call me a coward. Or a madman. I am Henselt of Ad Caraig. I'll not run from a woman, even a dragon slayer. That apart, you're a pretty fetching lass. I want this land. I want its gold. And I want you, dragon slayer. Grab them!
Stop! Stop in the name of Creve, Freyr and Militale!
Hey! By the milk of Mother Creatrix's tits, Geralt of Rivia! And in the best company to boot.
Yarpin Zigrin!
It's been years, you old prick. It's great to see you in good health.
Geralt, staring as if you've seen a ghost. Muster up a hug for an old friend.
Geralt's head's not exactly on straight.
Ha! Meaning you truly did in Foltest. Fine by me. Foltest was a ploughing niggard and a niggardly plougher. You did right, Geralt.
Not the point. Geralt's lost his memory.
And I didn't kill Foltest.
Right. What's the difference? Someone did. But we've bigger problems now.
Where's Saskia?
Oh, aye. Why is this butcher here?
I've come with 100 archers, the best in the world. We're here to aid your cause.
Well, you'll need to wait. Saskia and Prince Penis, rather Skinnis, went off to parley with Henselt. Me and the boys are waiting in case something goes wrong. The sun's gone dark. Call the sorceress!
She'll show us the way.
Yorvith, you've got some explaining to do.
My Elrond's blood. Brains.
Silver harms them. I'll cover you.
Margie, help me!
Shut up, Juan.
I hate flying through fog. Saskia, are you all right?
It's just a flesh wound. You and the Witcher, we owe you our lives.
I'm here to protect you. And you, Witcher?
I'm after a Kingslayer who kidnapped Triss Marigold.
And brought her here?
Is this an interrogation?
There are warrants on your head in Temeria, Kedwin, and Redania. And I'm responsible for Saskia's safety.
That's enough, Philippa. You told me yourself you thought him innocent.
Saskia, folk are riled. First the sun went out, then the squirrels arrived, now this fog. It's too much for the common folk.
True. Summon all the commanders to the meeting hall. Yorveth, give me some time. I must prepare them for your arrival. Witcher, Philippa, you must be there too. I wish to hear what we can expect from this anomaly and how we might be rid of it. Worry not, Yarpin. The legendary White Wolf and the equally famous Philippa Eilhart should have a remedy for several hundred rabid wraiths. I want to see all commanders in the council chamber. Philippa, that includes you and the Witcher. Cecil, the gates are to remain shut until we're done. You'll answer with your beard if they open for any reason.
Welcome to Vergen, Witcher. I'm Cecil Burden, the alderman.
Geralt of Rivia.
We've got a spare room at the inn. It's not much, but at least you'll have a roof over your head and a solid bed neath your ass.
Thanks, I could use that.
Scalen, show Master Geralt to his quarters, and visit Reverend Alcon's chambers on your way back to inform everyone that he has departed.
That is, that he died a hero, slain by the invaders.
Exactly. You see, Master Witcher? He's young but clever. We'll make a real dwarf out of him yet.
This shall be your chamber, Witcher. They say Selkirk of Gullet himself slept in this bed before battle. Didn't bring him any luck, but at least he was well rested before he died. Need anything else?
Thanks, Scalen.
You missed quite a scrap, gentlemen, and an opportunity to slay a monarch. There was a struggle and the prince was wounded.
You've all seen the magical phenomenon covering the battlefield. For any who still have doubts, this is no mundane mist, nor a petty fairground illusion. Most likely, we're up against a blood curse, an old and powerful spell. We do not know who cast it or why. For now, I have one piece of good news and several pieces of bad news. The good news is that Henselt and his army have been halted for the time being.
And the bad news?
The mist will grow. It may even engulf Vergen. Furthermore, wraiths may emerge from it.
Can they be made penitent? With an axe to the head?
In theory, yes, but I would suggest putting your faith in a silver weapon. Furthermore, the ghosts will weaken as they move away from the mist.
Is there any way to drive it off? Exorcise it?
A question for myself and Geralt of Rivia.
The Kingslayer?
Contrary to what old women at the wells say, he did not, in fact, slay any kings.
Course he didn't. Wouldn't hurt a fly, that one. Look at his eyes. You'll see he's the sensitive kind.
Whatever you may see in his eyes, few know more about lifting curses. Gentlemen, I do not require you to understand this phenomenon, but there are a few rules I insist you must follow.
Here we go.
No one is to approach the mist. It is mortally dangerous. In addition, we need to learn the story of the battle. For this, I especially count on the aid of Mr. Cecil Burden.
At your service, my lady.
Thank you. To lift the curse, we require some objects symbolic of the war. Ones belonging to those who perished here 3 years past.
Pugh! More scrap iron from that massacre lying about than lice in Cecil's beard. I thought curses were best handled with...
Please leave the thinking to me, Mr. Zigrin, and I'd gladly hear less from you from now on. The objects must be magically active and strictly linked to the ghosts of the fallen. That is all.
Let me be clear. You're all to aid Philippa and the Witcher. What are you grumbling about now, Yarpen?
It's something in my gullet.
Take a swig of wine. Now, to worldly matters. How many are we?
Saskia, you know well...
How many?
We dwarves are near 200, but don't judge us by our number.
1,000 peasants will come, though you'll get no precise count.
My lords?
53 knights and another 200 armed men. Not enough.
Henselt leads 5,000, 5-1 against us. What think you of that?
We are few, they are many, but we have our walls, low though they be. If we had archers, who knows?
Oh, for a regiment of heavy arbalists from Lyria.
We have something better. Yorvith's elves. Scoia'tael. Gentlemen, I give you Yorvith.
What do you seek here, murderer?
100 of the North's best archers await your orders, Dragon Slayer.
You wished for archers, here they are.
I take no pleasure in fraternizing with elves, but even a shit-coated stick can be a weapon.
He burned down the villages of many in my horde.
The free peasantry is one thing, but a criminal with a price on his head in all the northern realms? This is too much.
Saskia, say the word and we'll depart.
Hear me out. Yorvith came to fight for me. I trust him, and I know that he'll stay the course. Just like each of you.
How could you know that? He's an elf. Treason runs in his veins.
He's been fighting humans for a century.
But for the first time in scores of years, his fight makes sense. The Scoia'tael know no peace. They've died for Nilfgaard, for the Valley of the Flowers, in vain. They've been betrayed and cheated. Now they have a new goal. The Pontar Valley could be the first state where no man would have to fear elven arrows when venturing beyond city walls. And elves and dwarves wouldn't live in ghettos or on reservations. First, however, we have a battle to win. You know who we're up against. It's a splendid army, brave and well led. They cannot be scared off or routed. They have to be killed. I want Yorvith to sit at the same table as we do. I want him to kill Cadweni for us. And I assure you that he'll do so with a smile, if only you let him.
If I'm to see a smile on that skinny face, I'm in. Yorvith stays.
Bloody hell. Father's turning in his grave, but a must's a must. I say aye.
Nay. You killed my men, elf. Remember them?
If I hadn't killed them, they'd have killed me.
All right. For the sake of better times, and for Kedwin's doom, aye!
Down with the sons of bitches! Cheers!
Poison! She's dying. Take her somewhere safe and guard her with your lives. I'll gather what I need and join you soon.
I'll place my best warriors on watch.
Quickly, lads! A litter!
She ceased casting spells.
Saskia, is she alive?
In a manner of speaking. I've slowed her life functions as far as possible. Her condition is stable.
Do you know the poison?
Thormador, commonly known as mage pain. It has a terrible reputation.
An antidote must exist.
What can we do?
Treatment will require herbs, magic, and blood.
Not ordinary blood, I presume.
Correct. We require royal blood.
We could use Letho right now.
The nearest king is on the other side of the Mist of Wraiths.
You misunderstood me. It need not be the blood of a ruling monarch. It is the genotype contained in royal blood that is required. Kings issue from ancient dynasties. Over the ages, to survive, rulers needed exceptional resistance and strength. As royal dynasties rarely admit common blood, the strength of their genes remains great. I shall employ self-healing genetic therapy that will teach Saskia's body how to rid itself of the poison.
You'll have her drink human blood.
No, I shall inject it directly into her heart.
What kind of herbs are we talking about?
I'll need a subterranean variety of purple foxglove, known to the dwarves as the immortelle, and an elven rose of remembrance.
Triss had a rose of remembrance. She claimed the flowers are exceptional.
Long ago, the Enshe who succeeded in cultivating the roses enjoyed great respect.
Times have changed.
As have elves.
There are no elven gardens nearby. We must return to Flotsam.
Triss has a rose of remembrance from Flotsam. It's her we need to find. Where will we find immortelles?
They grow deep beneath the earth, which should not be a problem as Vergen lies on top of a mine.
How will they help Saskia?
Mage pain wreaks havoc in internal tissues. The immortelle will help restore them.
What else do you need to heal Saskia?
Thormador is a self-perpetuating substance. Any incursion into a cluster of poisoned cells causes an immediate chain reaction. Each tainted cell that is removed is replaced by 10 new tainted cells. To interrupt this reaction, I'll need an ungodly amount of the power. A water or air genie, or one of the 20 legendary rings of power would be best.
One to bring them all and in the darkness bind them.
Right. And then I'll have to run barefooted to the top of a volcano.
All right. Let's forget the rings. I need a vast quantity of the power, no matter the source. Find something.
An immortelle, a rose of remembrance, royal blood and magic sounds like a fairy tale.
A poor one at that. No prince's kiss to top things off.
I wish it were a fairy tale, especially a poor one, as a happy ending would then be inevitable. May I count on your help, Geralt?
You may. What about the Battle of Wraiths?
I must first see if the spells keeping Saskia alive are in order. Then we'll consider how best to send the spectres to their rest. Actually, you could tend to that yourself. Ask the locals about the battle. Maybe you'll learn something.
In that case, I shall search for the poisoner.
Would you look at that, friends? Geralt of Rivia. Coincidences do happen.
Greetings.
You don't know me, but I know you. I'm an employee of the Vivaldis Bank, and on business here, and to check up on the local mine's profitability.
Vivaldi doing all right?
Full of beans. And as per the instructions given to each of the bank's agents, I hasten to inform you that you have unlimited credit.
I could use a loan about now.
Sure thing. However, my means are limited. I can offer you the standard short-term loan for those working in high-risk professions. Will that do you?
I'm sure Vivaldi wouldn't mind if I borrowed a bit more than that.
It's nearly all I've got on me, but I'll manage somehow.
Well, I'll be ploughed by a ferret.
Yeah. Witcher Geralt of Rivia.
Ah, you're a witcher like any other. Those swords, things of beauty.
Nothing special about them.
Ah, you're mistaken. Few know how to make a silver blade today, fish eat me if I'm lying, and engraving runes is not exactly farting down a rain spout. I wouldn't mind a closer look at your swords. Care to browse through my wares?
People of Vergen, we have a magical mist full of ghosts just outside our walls, so you'd better think twice before entering it. The mist, may the plague take it, threatens all manner of creatures. So anyone headed to the quarries or walking through the gullies should take exceptional heed. The squirrels that have made camp by the burnt huts are not our enemies, so says Saskia, and so it is. Master Geralt of Rivia and Sorceress Philippa Eilhart will deal with the mist and the wraiths. And now, open the gates and get to work.
How are things?
Everyone awaits the battle. Some pray, others drink. Zoltan and Yarpan are chasing peasants around the square. They need a bit of drilling. Yorveth's warriors are trying to be inconspicuous, and so they should. I'd feel better if they crawled up the devil's arse and disappeared. But Saskia thinks we don't stand a chance without them.
How long have you been alderman?
My predecessor was killed 3 years ago. I was one of his advisors. I knew my way round the circus. So I volunteered to manage things. No one opposed me. Mostly I deal with trade and taxes, and I organize assorted matters. In the end, everyone listens to Saskia exclusively, me included.
This must be the first revolt ever to be taxed.
We can't feed ourselves nor fortify our walls with rebel slogans alone. But rest easy. Stennis and the nobles won't get a single oren from us. Though, of course, the prince is just waiting for the right moment to get his grubby hands on our finances.
I'm sure his motivations are pure, and he'll do it exclusively out of regard for his subjects.
Don't forget about the monsters in the pit.
My pentacles intrigue you?
Indeed. I'd like to see them up close.
Let's start with introductions then. I'm Felicia Corey, and you're Geralt of Rivia. Why the surprised face? I heard about you in school. Whether you like it or not, You're a hero of contemporary history.
And of the love stories we read beneath our blankets.
You studied at Aretusa?
Yes, though I'm still to finish my potion and fetish internship, which is why I'm here.
And you're doing it under Philippa Eilhart's watchful eye. Any way I can help you?
Help from a hero of our readings? Now that's drawing on sources for real. I'd be grateful. The locals are reluctant to buy magic items, and I really need to pass.
Let's see what I can do.
Geralt, sit down. We haven't yet celebrated your raid into the mist. Sorry. Where are my manners? Sheldon Skaggs, veteran of the battles of Sodden and Brenna.
And all ends along the way.
You've already met Vergen's elder?
Greetings.
Gentlemen, not sure about you, but my throat's parched from all these greetings.
Funny, those were the first words out of your mouth.
Master Dandelion's right. A round for everyone! On me!
I'll gladly wash the road's dust from my throat, especially in such good company.
Too bad Caleb Stratton's not here. May he rest in peace.
A worthy dwarf he was. Here's to him.
Sheldon, you're lagging behind.
I've got a little screw coming tonight.
More reason to drink makes you more vigorous.
My prick withers like an old crone's tits if I drink.
Then tie a carrot to it.
So, what brings you here, Geralt?
Why are you dwarves fighting for Saskia?
If I had a knack for business, I'd be sitting on my arse in my own inn, not giving a shit for this war. But what's my trade? Axe swinging. That's what. And if I could get killed, I'd rather know what I'm risking my neck for.
The woman's cuckoo, ready to spit in the Emperor's face even. But I have to admit, she knows all about warcraft. And damn it, she's right. Free Vergen, no matter if you're a dwarf, man or mangy elf.
Do you hear him, Zigrin? Down on the elves already. But I bet he wouldn't sniff at 30 additional archers in battle.
Ever heard of a unit called the Dun Banner? Apparently they left their standard behind during the last war. I need to find it if I'm to lift the curse.
Aye. The standard lies in a crypt with those of the unit who perished here.
Where's this crypt?
Not the easiest place to find. Turn right past the market and look for a passage carved right through the rocks. That'll lead you to a valley filled with tombs and crypts.
To the fallen!
Have you ever heard of a plant called the Dwarven Immortelle?
Have we? The pigs have tight arses.
To tell the truth, I've no idea, Skaggs.
It's just a saying.
You're the only one using it.
Witcher, the Immortelle. It appears most often near anthracite and aluminosilicate deposits.
Philippa needs it to heal Saskia.
A rare curio, but there's a mine nearby, and who knows? You might find it deep underground.
Is the mine far?
Not at all. It's in Verger itself, in the town's upper quarter.
You're eager for this expedition, but nobody told the Witcher that the mine's closed.
Closed? That's true. But it's long overdue a cleaning. Weed out all the underground shit.
What are you talking about?
Not a month ago, miners started disappearing. Must have tapped the wrong vein and woken some scum from the deep. We wanted to send a crew of stout fellows in, but Saskia said she needs all the soldiers she can find up top and ready to defend the town. We closed the shaft, fearing the filth would emerge and overrun us all.
Looks like we arrived just in time, eh, Geralt?
So it seems. Let's go.
Right on. With this crew, we needn't fear any monster. How about you, Sheldon? You coming with us, or staying around to get your fuck?
Another chance like this won't come around in a hurry. Fucking can wait. I'm with you.
Let's meet at the mine's entrance.
The Witcher's on board. We can go.
Let's get to work, my bearded friends.
Open the shaft, Skaggs. If you kill off those monsters, the whole of Vergen will be grateful. I'm sure some coin would be found.
We'll keep that in mind, Cecil.
So, Sheldon, you opened the shaft yet?
Keep your pricks in your trousers. You can't just plough forward all the time. A mind is like a lover. You need to be gentle, so she accepts you moist and hot.
You and your musings, Sheldon.
Damn carrier. That was close.
What was that?
Necrophages. With this many appearing, they must have a nest nearby.
The miners tried to collapse this passage. I wonder what's down below.
Maybe some shit-filled necrophage cesspit.
Or they hide the corpse that they drag in down there.
Hey, gentlemen, let's focus on finding a dwarven immortel, please. Heads up, they approach.
With the last one.
Let's grab what we need and get out of here. Right, Geralt. Looks like it's all over.
Thanks for your help, Zoltan.
Say nothing of it.
Enough yapping. Time for some vodka.
First, I want to see if my fuck date's still waiting.
Just don't strain yourself. It takes energy to drink with us too, you know.
We killed most of the necrophages.
Most?
The passage to the lower level collapsed. They won't get out. In time, they'll die off and you can restart work.
Thank you, Witcher. The whole of Vergen thanks you. Here's your coin. Shive, Skaggs, and Zigrim will get the same.
How are you, Sheldon?
Better than at Brenna, though we've quite a rumble ahead of us. But I promise you this, we'll kick Henselt's arse and send him scurrying back to Kedwin.
Zoltan says your company are true arm wrestling masters.
Unbeatable, last I recall.
Is that so? Care to check if that's still true?
Sounds good. Ready to take me on?
Give me your best shot.
The peasants now refuse.
You one strong son of a bitch!
Thanks.
You should take on Scalen. He beat me and Yarpen, and now beats his chest over it. The old company'd be in your debt if you thrashed him.
Jealous bunch, aren't you?
Who's this, my failing eyes spy? Geralt of Rivia visiting old Yarpen Zigrin.
Getting anywhere with the new recruits?
Like holes in a brothel. They're ploughing away at full speed. Sarskia's army's full of men better at holding their pricks than a weapon. The Zoltan and I are helping them catch up. Most importantly, they don't lack spirit.
They won't defeat Henselt's regulars with zeal alone.
We'll show you what an army facing either victory or death is capable of. For we've no other choice, Geralt.
I've been trying to figure out what Philippa Eilhart's doing in all this mess.
Same thing as always. Conspiring until she gets her pubes in a knot.
I know you hate sorceresses, but try to put your animosity aside.
We hate them, that's a fact. But why do you think that is? It's not because of their secret knowledge or their nice tits. Their hearts are full of dung, Geralt. Mark my words.
You exaggerate.
Maybe not all of them. But Eilhart's the worst. Need I remind you how she peddled her arse to Dijkstra just to learn the plan to the Redanian intelligence service? Everyone in Vergen knows she's not into cock. I tell you this, it's her ilk that caused the ruckus on Thanid Island. Think she's any different here? I'm crap at talking, Geralt, but you do alright. So I'd appreciate, as soon as Saskia's better, slip a word in her ear to watch out for Philippa.
Were you in Rivia when I got caught on that pitchfork?
Was I? Fuck, Wolf, I saw you die! I didn't see the little bastard who took you for a haystack, but I swear it looked like you weren't going to make it. So I'm well glad you managed to lick your wounds.
I don't know if it taught me anything.
Come on, it had to. Not many have survived their own death.
You haven't noticed that I'm pissing up wind again, fighting for a cause that isn't mine?
No, I haven't. A free Upper Aedirn is in the interests of any decent fellow.
Did you fight at Brenna?
Oh, fuck. I knows you've got amnesia, but you could have remembered that. It was a beautiful day. On one side, 46,000 black ones. On the other, us, the Nordlings together. The Redanians led by De Ruyter on the left, the Temerian regiments in the middle, and us on the right. The Mahakam Volunteer Army, all dwarfs. Even the likes of Cohor must have shit his britches at the sight of us.
He hardly lacked courage as I heard it.
All right, brave bastard, that's true. Preferred to die than run like a rat. I don't believe I've ever seen a bigger melee, except maybe 3 years ago here at Vergen. Would have managed that day too, even without the magic. That burning shit that fell from the sky. Why, even the Dun Banner knelt before us when we brought our battle axes down.
Some say not one of the Dun Banner survived. Any truth to that?
Biggerhorn nabbed the survivors as they fled south, but most men of the Banner lie in the catacombs, along with their standard, the Dun Banner. What the hell kind of name is that for a unit anyway? It's as if they couldn't get their fucking flag clean.
Zoltan claims you can arm wrestle like no one else.
He's right. Did he tell you I beat him?
Omitted that bit, somehow.
Oh, fart.
Want to wrestle me?
I'm ready for your challenge always. So?
Show me what you got.
Listen, Scale and Burden beat all our old company, and it gets bragging about it right and left. Someone needs to knock him down a peg. Make it worth your while.
I'll see what I can do. I taught Scalen a lesson.
Did you beat him?
Heard his joints crack.
Probably already has a compress of firm young tits on his arm. In any case, I'm grateful and want you to have this rune stone.
Geralt, right. My uncle's told me a lot about you. Nice work with those spectres. And Saskia! Well, I wager the gods didn't think you could save her.
Your uncle?
Cecil. I help him out here and there managing Vergen. Scalen Burden's my name.
Nice to meet you. Is Cecil your guardian?
Aye. Ever since my parents passed on. They took me in, fed me, taught me a profession and how to live, really.
How did your parents die?
During one of the massacres Demavend arranged for us. But I'd rather not talk of that.
Sure, sorry. The mine's safe again. Any plans to do something with it?
Course! Soon as the battle's done, we'll resume digging. Shame to let those rich deposits go to waste. My uncle says they'll put Vergen right back on its feet. Zoltan's talking about a shared enterprise or some such. He's to manage operations with my uncle as general overseer. We just got to save the town first.
What'll you do when the battle rolls around?
I'll be right out front fighting. Uncle Cecil's allowed it. Says I'm an adult. I'm gonna kick some kid when he asks.
No fears?
Of what? My uncle believes I can do it, and Yarpen taught me how to swing an axe with follow-through. I'll smash a few heads, then go to the tavern and drink till I drop.
Battles are unpredictable, and this'll be your first. You'll have to kill, wade through piles of bloody corpses, all the while watching you don't get cut down yourself. Sure you're ready for this?
To tell the truth, I'm shitting myself a bit. Straw dummies. That's all I've swung at so far. When I think on what's going to happen here. But, all for one and one for all, right? Just don't tell my uncle, please. He's thrashed me a few times already for talk like that.
I won't say a word. Hey, Scalen, wanna arm wrestle?
I really like to wrestle, but,
No buts. You either wanna wrestle or not.
You know there's no one to match me in Vergen.
It's not the contest of the century, I just want to test you.
Steady on! I've got conditions. First, you have to beat Yarpen and Sheldon.
Show me what you're made of.
Alright. Want to take me on?
One freak bigger than the next.
I believe I'd split a rock with my dick sooner than I'd beat you at arm wrestling.
I guess that makes me the new champion of Vergen.
No shame in losing to the White Wolf. Though there's one who could still be a match for you.
Who?
The mighty Numa. I wrestled him in Kovir. Couldn't move my arm for the next week. They say he don't play fair. But that's just losers talking. You ever wrestle him? Give him my regards.
I will. Consider Scalen humbled.
Always told the old fart he was shite. You're a good sort, Geralt. Here's a runestone from the company to improve your weapons with.
You play dice?
Do I? I not only play, I win. And my winnings include a nice collection of mementos. See, history. That's what I find fascinating. You might even call me an aficionado.
A collection, huh? Rich and varied?
Well, for example, Some items left by the Dun Banner. A wool coat I'm really proud of. Absolutely unique, it is.
Not sure I have anything to offer that would interest you.
Not to worry. I'll always take coin if you lose. Win, and you can choose from my collection. Damn it, you win!
Scalan, my prize?
The sword of the warrior princess Zenthian. Good enough?
I'd say so.
It's yours. If you'd like to roll again, I'm always willing. Damn it, you win!
What's my prize this time?
The wool coat of a corporal of the Dun Banner. One of a kind, and truly sought after by collectors and aficionados of military mementos.
Where did you get these things?
I played dice and won them. Now I played and lost. But that's it. I'll play you no more.
Don't get mad.
I'm not! I'm just not fucking playing you no more.
Since when do noblemen fight peasants?
Sign of the times. Saskia treats the peasantry as our equals. And once you let a dog inside, it'll never sleep in the doghouse again. But that's not for me to judge. The point is, you can make good coin off fistfights. Care to give it a go?
Any rules to this?
Each contender puts down his stake, which rises the more fights he wins. If you want to fight, put down some coin. Up for the next fight, or are you just going to stand there and go?
Don't be afraid of him!
Finally, an end to the flailing and someone with a touch of finesse. The pool is yours. A wonderful show of strength, precision, and agility. Seems there's no one left to challenge the new champion.
You couldn't be more wrong.
Sir Silgrant?
It is I.
Funny seeing you here. You've always claimed such fights were a primitive diversion for commoners.
A true knight duels another in the exquisite company of ladies and real gentlemen.
Oh, I'll never forget the great achievements of Selkirk in the tourneys.
On many occasions did my brother prove his greatness. Alas, the world's going to the dogs. Today a knight must challenge commoners to prove his bravery. But there's a witcher among you. And though his blood is no match for mine, his warring mastery is satisfactory. Perhaps when he drops to the ground at my feet, you'll realize I'm not merely Selkirk's brother. I'll be known as Silgrat, every witcher's worst nightmare. I challenge you, witcher. The wager is 2 sacks of gold. Believe me, Silgrat doesn't challenge any old serf.
You want to prove you're your brother's equal? Show me what you're made of.
Stand and fight.
Fight his balls!
You won. Finish me off.
I'm no murderer. Besides, it was only a fist fight.
I'd rather have died at your hands.
It was an honest fight, just like you wanted.
You fail to understand. My reputation is ruined, my honor gone.
I thrashed you and won a pile of coin. Not sure I care about your reputation.
We'll meet again. Silgrat forgets no insult.
Congratulations to the victors, and thanks to the vanquished. You proved your mastery, Witcher. Fighting you is an honor. Let's tend to the pool!
What is it, Witcher?
Who is that girl?
Cynthia, a leashed sorceress.
A charming expression. Do you also use muzzles?
Leash means a connection between a sorceress and her assistant. An unfortunate term, I admit, but it explains how things are. Cynthia can tap my power, use my spells. She's a conduit. And she's learning along the way. It's convenient, and except for the name, not derisive at all. But you're not here to talk about Cynthia.
How is it that King Radovid's court sorceress and advisor is supporting rebellion in Edirn.
This has grown into more than a simple rebellion, Witcher. Prince Stennis' arrival here confirmed Saskia's right to represent Edirn.
Saskia isn't fighting for Edirn, but for the Pontar Valley. Even Prince Stennis considers you rebels. He hasn't moved against you because war with Kedwen hangs by a thread. Why are you here, Sorceress of Tretogor?
It is my duty. If Henselt occupies the Pontar Valley, Redania and Temeria will respond strongly. The North will disintegrate, its unity gone. A dark scenario that is nevertheless avoidable, provided Saskia is successful and wins the Valley's independence.
Even if she thwarts Henselt, there'll be no independence without agreement from Redania and Temeria.
Temeria's expansionist plans melted away with Foltest's death. Redania's ruler is unpredictable, but even he'll have to respect a victory. I'm here to make this victory a fact.
Is what they say true? Did Saskia kill a dragon?
Prince Stennis decorated her for it at the court in Vengerberg, so it appears to be true. If you want to know the details, talk to Biggerhorn. Apparently he witnessed it.
Have you heard about a Witcher's school? Apparently the Viper's their sign.
No, why do you ask?
The Kingslayer wears a medallion adorned with a viper.
Pretentious and childish for my taste. He can't be very smart.
A sorceress like you ought to know bundles about the wild hunt.
A sorceress's knowledge has nothing to do with superstitions.
The hunt's not a superstition.
True, the phenomenon seems to exist.
I want to know everything there is to know about it.
It's strictly atmospheric. It doesn't interest me. Just as whirlwinds, whirlpools, and snowfalls do not interest me.
At the council, you mentioned artifacts were needed to undo the curse.
But I can't look for them now.
I can do that.
Why?
I have my reasons. Tell me something. What happened here 3 years ago?
Henselt attacked Edirn, but met his match. Nobody won that war. Sabrina Glefisig got into a conflict with the commander-in-chief of the Kedweni forces, and this led to both armies being routed. Fireballs turned the battlefield into a flaming tomb. Henselt accused Sabrina of using a forbidden weapon.
And Sabrina cursed Henselt.
I think so. I suspect the curse got out of hand because of the circumstances.
Circumstances? The stars weren't right, wrong phase of the moon. There's always an excuse for simple bungling.
She placed the curse while burning at the stake. Her hands and feet nailed to a wagon wheel. I'd say she did a good job, considering.
Know anything about blood curses?
Do you?
We're dealing with a 4th-level curse, also known as the Curse of the Archmistress.
Well, I'm impressed.
Thing is, until now I thought it was only a myth, that such a curse couldn't be cast.
You thought wrong. There are 6 confirmed cases of this curse being inflicted.
What about confirmed cases of it being lifted?
1. Achieved by a team of sorcerers led by Archmistress Francesca Finderbear, hence the curse's other name. Sabrina Glevizig was on the team.
Small world.
That's not all. The curse investigated by Francesca and Sabrina was designed to end the Tyson dynasty, the rulers of Kovir. They were cursed by Scarlet Rodalega, a complete madman, but very talented. An eclipse and wraiths also accompanied his curse.
So Sabrina's curse is just a knockoff Rodalega?
Exactly.
Did you notice? Not all the ghosts were aggressive.
Yes. Most just disappeared when they touched the aura of a living person.
I think the curse corrupts the ghosts of the fallen and turns them into Draugrs.
Is that the Witcher's professional name for wraiths?
Draugrs are demons of war. They arise at sites of exceptionally vicious, bloody battles. Their bloodlust and hatred in condensed form.
Can you kill them by conventional means?
A silver sword is enough for a Draugr, but as long as the curse remains active, new ones will arise. The soldiers' ghosts are the key. If I could turn the tide of the battle...
For that you'll need symbols of war belonging to those who fell in battle. Hatred, death, courage, and faith. All artifacts must be magically active and connected to the fallen, or they won't lure the ghosts.
Right. I'll look around.
Finding 2 will be enough. Get the symbols of hatred and death and leave the rest to me.
I'd prefer courage and faith.
Don't fuss.
I'll see what I can do. Cecil seems to know a lot about the area. Can Francesca's experience help us?
Certainly. I know the symbols and the workings of the curse thanks to her.
Care to explain? I'm the one risking my neck.
You'll have to relive the battle and change its course at the right moment. I don't know exactly what will happen. Nobody does.
I'll look for those artifacts. I'm good for now. I'll let you know when I learn something.
Geralt, first throat of the Witcher's Guild. Finally, a drink with someone worth talking to.
Short on company?
What can Yarpin tell me? I prefer listening to horses fart.
I wanted to talk to you about the Free State of Vergen. We haven't had the occasion somehow.
True.
Do you buy into Saskia's ideals?
Are you asking me if I believe what she says, or if I believe she'll be successful?
Both.
Saskia's no liar, that's a fact. But whether we'll manage, who can tell? One thing is sure, we'll never know if we never try. For now, a great battle awaits. A battle in which elf, dwarf, and human will stand side by side. And that is beautiful in itself.
It's also the biggest potential weakness.
Nothing unites folk like shared death. I believe those who survive will honor the deaths of their comrades.
If they win.
Even if they don't. News spreads fast. Others will follow in our footsteps.
The Kingslayer's trail has gone cold. Have you heard anything?
No one could sneak into Vergen. We watch day and night. Anyway, who would they come for here? Stennis? Why so keen on capturing the assassin of kings?
Letho knows a lot about me. Certain things maybe only he can explain.
Is it worth sticking your neck out to know what was in your head before?
Yeah, I'd say it's worth it. Yorvith seems to have changed. Have you noticed?
How? Has his arse grown fatter in Saskia's keep?
An elf who was the greatest foe of humans will now fight for their freedom. Doesn't that surprise you?
Only harpies don't change their minds. I'm no expert on elves, but as I see it, he's got a stiffy for Saskia.
Yorvith?
He stood all gentle as a lamb in council, stealing glances at her tits. When she spoke to him, he looked as happy as a fool whittling a wooden toy.
Vergen seems like an ancient town. Do you know its history?
It's one of the mining colonies Mahakam established. There were lots of them just 500 years ago. Now they're mostly in ruins. It was the first town where dwarves and humans began working side by side. For the past 3 years, it's been a symbol of our common death.
Cecil, do you know anyone who fought in the war 3 years ago?
I did.
Did you fight here at Vergen?
Course.
Philippa claims you know a bit about the battle.
That old cook insult, called king by some, thought that Aedirnians were bumpkins who'd ship bricks as soon as his troops crossed the river.
Why did he attack Aedirn?
According to Henselt, Upper Aedirn is the ancient legacy of the Kedwenny crown and must be returned to the mother country. Brazen farter.
That brazen farter had a point. If you read some history, you'll know that 300 years ago this land belonged to Kedwen.
Load of crab. 700 years ago, the elves reigned here. And 1,000,000 years ago, these lands were the domain of the worms. If things worked that way, every king could invade a neighboring land and claim his right to do so because an ancestor took a dump there.
All right. Hensel wanted to conquer Upper Aedirn. What then?
He rolled in, got hammered, and rolled out.
Cecil, that doesn't help me much.
It wasn't a battle. It was a slaughter. If I try speaking of it, I'll see it all again. I don't want...
The ghosts of the fallen fight in the mist. They turn into horrible creatures called Draugrs. Aedirnians, Kedwenny, men, elves, and dwarves too.
Bloody hell. No peace even after death.
I want to help them, but I need to know more about the battle.
Very well. Listen, a beautiful day that grew hot later. Very hot. When Van de Grift attacked in the afternoon, he sent a dun banner at the fore. Many of our lads shit themselves at the mere sight of their standard, but we had a surprise of our own. Under the cover of night, we prepared fire pits. Our archers lit them up at the right moment. I still can't believe we managed to fool their scouts. If it wasn't for that ambush, we wouldn't be speaking today. They likely wouldn't be in Upper Aedirn at all. We decimated the dun banner, but that was only the beginning. Seltkirk was our commander. Everywhere he appeared, the Kidwennies gave ground. He wreaked havoc among them. Hearts rose at the mere sight of his armour. Then Vandegrift himself entered the fray. Seltkirk met him in the middle of the field. In the end, Vandegrift killed Seltkirk. A terrible death that sent the Aedirnian ranks into disarray. I thought it was the end of us. Then the sky fell, as if the stars themselves had decided to avenge the death of a great knight. Fire covered the battlefield. Nobody sought the enemy. They were all looking for somewhere to flee. Yes, there were no more friends and enemies, only the living and the dead. They say it was the doing of a Kidwenny sorceress who wanted revenge on Vandegrift. Could be true, as Henselt had her executed right after the battle.
Remember anything from before the battle?
As if it was yesterday. Henselt's troops crossed the Pontard the third day after the autumn equinox. Edirn had good spies, so we were ready for them, and Seltkirk lined up our troops along the hills. Our hearts rose at the sight of the banners of Vengerberg, Aldersberg and Gullet fluttering in the wind. Knights and armoured infantry side by side in our ranks. Even the peasants had their regiments. The dwarves were on the left flank. Over 5,000 strong we were. Nobody caring about race or background, like never before. Only King Demavend was missing, but he must have had more important business than defending his country.
You saw the Kidwennies cross the river?
From afar. I saw Vandegrift leading 4,000 heavily armed men. Many a heart sank when we saw the elite bearheads or the armoured banners from Ardcarrig. The Dun banner was in the middle, veterans of Brenna. As soon as he set foot on Aedirnian land, Vandegrift climbed a hill and surveyed the area, as if it was his fief. Son of a bitch was as sure of himself as ever. Upon spying him, I remember the dwarves all dropped their trousers and showed him their asses. Then Seltkirk stepped out in front of us. His white armour shone in the sun. We were afraid a Kidwenny arbalist would shoot him, but they too stood as if frozen, and Seltkirk just looked at them and bowed ever so slightly.
You captured the Dun Banner standard?
Henselt's choice troops, and not a one survived. The visitor sent them to their deaths, refused to give them reinforcements. He was a monster in human form. The men of the Dun were real swaggerers. Killed a lot of our lads, but for every Dunner, there were 7 Aedirnians. They had no chance. Aye, we captured their standard. We buried what was left of them in the crypts beyond Vergen. Their standard lies with them. Worthy foes are to be respected, even in death.
I'm going to need that standard. Did you see the duel between Seltkirk and Vandegrift?
I stood half a furlong from them. Never seen a fight like it. Probably never will again. They'd already met once, at a jousting tournament in Ardcarrig. Seltkirk won there. He beat on the visitor so hard he broke his sword. Seltkirk was a true knight, the last of his breed. Vandegrift was so pissed off after that tournament he hanged the smith who made his sword and ordered a special one from a sorcerer. I bet he cut down Seltkirk with that new sword.
Vandegrift is dead. What happened to his sword?
Saskia's got it. Good thing too. Only her hand can tame the hatred enchanted in that sword. After the battle, when the flames abated, the scavengers came. They stole everything. Imagine, not a single keepsake of Seltkirk in the whole of Edirn. His brother babbled something about a gauntlet, but he's a lying dog.
Thanks, Cecil, that was helpful. I think I know what I need to lift the curse now.
Madame Eilhard claims you need 4 symbols. The standard symbolizes death. Vandegrift's sword stands for hatred. What about the other 2?
I have a feeling Philippa has a handle on the rest.
Here's hoping you're right.